Hello, I'm Jagan from growwithdata. In this video, we are going to see the data types in Python. So we are having different data types and we are going to see one by one. So if we see the main data types we use in Python, the main thing is the numeric. Within numeric, we have integers, floats, and imaginary. Imaginary is rarely used, but integers and floats are very often used. And the next one is Boolean, and then strings, list, tuples, set, dictionary. There are other data types provided by the modules and libraries. For example, the date, time, the numpy for the numerical calculations. Right? So we are going to see one by one. The first one is the numeric. So the numeric, we have three different data types. First one is the integers. So if I say I equal to 12, so 12 is a whole number. So it's an integer data type. So we want to see the data type. I can say type of I. So it will show you what data type it is. So what is the use of knowing a database? Before that, what is a data type? So basically, it's a classification of data we are storing in Python. So why we need to know what data type it is? Because this helps us what operation we can perform on the data. So if you know it's a numeric, then we can know, okay, you can do aggregation or you can do multiplication. And if you know it's a Boolean, then you can use it for comparison. Right? So knowing the data type is one of the key things. So if I say I have an integer, then I can perform some arithmetic operation like minus 10 plus 100. If I want to know the answer of it, then I can just do a arithmetic operation. It's 90. So what will be the data type? I can just say type of minus 10 plus 100. So the 90 is an integer data type. Same like that, if you want to go for float, right? So we can keep it here. So the second one is float. Float is nothing but the decimal values. So if I say 12 plus 0.25, so it's 12.25. So what will be the data type for this? So it's going to be float. The third data type is going to be complex. I haven't used this data type at all, and it's very rarely used. So if we say 12 plus 3j, so it's 12 plus 3j. So j is the imaginary variable. So if I want to see the type of this, it shows us complex data type. So only j is used for the imaginary number. In math, mostly we use I as imaginary, right? 2i plus j or something, right? So I is the most used letter for the imaginary variable. But in electrical engineering and other application, the applied science, they have I as I to represent the current. So in Python, j is used as the imaginary number instead of I. So if I have an imaginary number like 12 plus 3j, then how will I find what is the real number and what is the imaginary number? So here, 12 is the real number, 3 is going to be the imaginary number. So if I want to say 12 plus 3i, it's not going to work. So j is the only imaginary letter we can use. So if I want to know what is the real and what is the imaginary number, I can say a dot real. That will give me the real number. If I say a dot imaginary, IMAG, that will give me the imaginary number. So this is the importance of the complex data type, and most of the science applications, they use this complex data types. Okay, so for now numerical, we have integers, floats, and complex data type. Now we can go for the next one, which is Boolean. So Boolean, it's the second data type we are going to see, and it has only two built-in values. One is true, and another one is false. And it's a case sensitive. So if I want to see the data type of the Boolean, say type of false, right? It's a Boolean. So I can't put within the quotes. If I do it within the quotes, then it becomes a string. It will lose its Boolean character. So it becomes a string. Same way, if we want to do it as a caps, then it's going to throw me the name error, because false is Python is case sensitive and false is capital F and followed by the small letters. So mostly Boolean can be used for the comparison operator. So if I want to check if 1 is greater than 10 or not, so it will return true or false. So if I want to see the type of this comparison, then it says Boolean. If I want to say 10 or 100 greater than 10, it's going to return true. 100 greater than 10, and even it shows it's a Boolean. So mostly this Boolean is used for the comparison operators. Okay. The third one is the string. Before that, we can just tag this as Boolean. L-E-A-N. So Boolean. Okay. So third one is the string. So string is the most used questions in interviews. So most of the questions they'll ask about how to manipulate the string, how to read a string, all that related to strings. So string is represented by single quotes or double quotes. Sometimes if it's a multi-line character, then you use triple quotes. Let's see how it behaves. If we say A equal to our favorite hello world, and it's quotes in single quotes. So if I want to see the type of A, it's going to show us string. Remember, in this type false, if I put it in quotes, it becomes string. Same way, any alphanumeric or special characters, if you put within quotes, it's showing us string. So if I want to put the same thing in double quotes, A equal to hello world and covered up in double quotes, right? So if I want to say type of A, it's going to be a string. Okay, so can I mix up this single quotes and double quotes? So I start with double quotes and say single quotes. It will throw me the syntax error because it starts with double quotes and ends in single quotes. It's not going to work. So both the quotes has to be single or double. Okay, it can't mix and match. And next one is, if I want to type something which has a single quotes in it. For example, I say, I have always wanted to eat ice cream. Okay? So this sentence have a single quotes in it. If I want to assign that to a variable and do a single quote, it's going to throw a syntax error because the I becomes a string and then followed by something which is not in quotes, but it's a character. So this is going to be a string which is supposed to be defined within quotes, but it's outside the quotes. So how to fix this? If there is single quotes within the value, then you better go with double quotes to cover it up. So if I do that, then the variable A can get the values with single quotes. If this is going to be in double quotes, then you cover up with single quotes, right? So if I have both the single quotes and double quotes, to eat, if I have both single quotes and double quotes, what will I do? It's going to throw a syntax error. So I can use the triple quotes. So if you see this, if I use triple quotes, the single quotes is showing us slash code. So slash will make sure the character followed by this don't have a special characters to it. So if you have new line character /n is going to be a new line character, right? So if you say print grow with /n data. So if you see this, it will have a new line character. So if I print, the new line will get that value and it displays the actual content. So new line means it has to go to the new line. But if I do the other way, I am going to say a equal to grow with data. If I simply say a, if you see this, you have a single line. It's not showing up as a multi-line. But if I do the same thing with print a, it will show in a multi-line. So that is the power of print. So when you just call the variable a with multiple lines, right, it will just represent that value. So the representation of a is grow with data and there is a new line character. So it will just show the new line character as one of the strings. It don't show the behavior of the new line character. But when I go with print a, it will consider what is the behavior of this new line character. If I have another slash to it, then even the print will show /n, because after slash, if I bring in a character which has a different meaning, a different operational efficiency, then the slash will reduce that. The slash will neutralize that part. So the new line character becomes a normal string. So that is the power of slash. So tab, we say /t is tab. If you don't have it, so it just gives a space, tab space, right? After grow with, there is a tab space. If I want to neutralize it, I put another slash. So the /t will behave like a normal string. So this is the power of string. So you have to be careful about it. And about the multi-line. If I want to bring in a multi-line, for example, I say a, I put twinkle twinkle, famous, right? Twinkle, T-I-N-K-L, twinkle, twinkle, little star. And then go to the next line. Rajini is our poet, super star. So this got 3 lines. If I say A, it's going to print me in a single line, even if you don't have the space after the new line character. But if I show print A, it will show it in multiple line, right? So you just keep that in mind. And the next one is the string can be indexed. So when you have a string, the hello world, it has the indexing part. So index starts with 0. So H is the first position and its index value is 0. And E is the second position, the index value is 1. So the position 1, 2, 3, 4, but the index starts with 0, 1, 2. So if I say A of 0, okay, I have to disable the power print. So if I say A of 0, it will take the first index position. If I say A of 1, it will take the second index position. And if I want to get a range of it, right? So if I want to get only hello, get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 characters. And it starts with 0th index. 0th index, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to get only 4. So if I want to get only 4, then I will just say 5. Okay. So if I don't give any characters in the first position, the parameter is going to be 0. So if I put 0 or don't put 0, doesn't make any sense. If I want to go with any other position other than 0, then I have to explicitly say it. If I say 1, then it starts with the index position 1. So first one is the starting position. The second one is the ending position. If I don't give the start and end, it will take the whole string. And there is a third parameter, which means how many index position you have to switch. So if I say 2, that means after reading one element or one character, it has to skip one index position, go to the second one. So if you see this, if I say 2, that means it skip one index position and go to the second. So it takes H, it will skip E, then take L, skip another L, take O, skip the space, W, skip O, R, skip L, and D. So W, R, D. So it skip 2. If I say 4, it will skip 4. Hit H, 1, 2, 3, and then it get O, and then 1, 2, 3, and then R, 1, 2, 3. So if I say 4, that means it takes only skip 3. The number -1 is what you have to assume. So the first one is where to start. The second one is where to end. Basically, it's 5 means it ends in index position 4. And then third one is how many index position you have to switch. If I give 1, 6, and 4, it will just consider from 1 to 6, get the first letter E and then skip 4. You don't get anything else. But if I give space -1, it will just reverse the whole string. If you see this, the last letter becomes the first one. So it says HELLO, hello, space WORLD, exclamation. So -1 will reverse the whole string. So this is how you play around with the index position. So the first one is start position, end position, and third one is the skip position. Why the -1 is special? So I said it starts with 0, right? So A is hello world. A of 0 is the first index position. If I say A of -1 is the last index position. So minus negative number starts from right to left. -2 is the D, the second from last. And 3 is going to be L. Okay. So that is the power of index position from right to left. Okay. So what else in the string position? We just saw how the single quotes, double quotes, and triple quotes. Triple quotes can be like single triple quote or double triple quotes. So we can say this way also. This also works the same. Okay. So it can be a single quote, it can be a double quote. So if I print, then you have the better one. You don't have the slash part of it. And I told the reason, if you get only the variable, it will just represent that value stored in the variable. If you say print, it will get all the characters, behavior of the characters, and then print it. So that's how we use print. And then we just showed what happened to the slash and the difference between A and print A and multiple line characters. Index starts with 0 and this, yes. And the last one is the string is immutable. Immutable means you can read the string, but you can't overwrite any values in the string. When you see the list, you can see what is mutable, right? So if I have A equal to this, right? I can't say A of 0 equal to, make it as small h. We can't replace it. It just gives you the type error. If I want to make it as small, then I can't directly go and say, get the character from the 0th index and change that to small h. If I say this, it will throw me the type error. So what should I do? I should say get A of 0 dot lower. So this will give the first element, the index position 0, make it as a lower case, and then you say plus A of 1. Starts with a of 1 till the end. So first you take the 0th index position, make it as a lower case, and then from 1 till the end, get all the characters. So the capital H becomes small h. We can't overwrite. So it's called immutable. I can add something to a string. So if I say a plus space hi, it'll just say hello world and then add hi to it. That's a different thing. But you can't change the particular element in the string. Okay. Now we talked about immutable. Now we are going to see something called mutable. This is a list. So we have 3 different brackets. One is the solid bracket. I don't know how you say it, but the solid bracket. This is for the list. And then the curl round bracket, which is for tuple. And there is something called curly bracket, which is for set and dictionary. So these are the 4 data types you are going to see next. So what is a list? So the list, the special part of list is it can store multiple elements within it. So if you say, I can say list, lst equal to, we had this 1, 2, and 3, right? The number part, we had this 1, 2. It's a one single digit. But what we can do is we can store multiple digits here. We can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? We can have more than one values. So if we say list, it just brings here. If you want to see what type it is, it shows list. And list, same like the string, the index position starts with 0. If we say list of 0, it takes the first index position. And everything is integer, right? I can mix and match the values. So if I say list equal to 1 to 3.4 and then hello and true. So I use integer, I use float, I use a string, I use a Boolean. And if I say list, it will get me the whole value. If I say list of 0, it will get me the first element, irrespective of what data type it is. So if we say type of the first, it's going to be an integer. If the going to be one float. If I go with the second index, that means third element, it's a 0, 1, 2, 3. It's a true, right? So it's a Boolean. So we can save multiple data types in one list. So that's the specialty of it. And if I say list equal to meta, that's a string, and 2004, right? I have 2 elements here. One is a string, one is a integer. Now it's a ordered data type. Ordered data means 0 is meta, 1 is 2004, right? It's fixed. So if I want to change the 2004 to something different, so list of 1 is going to give me 2004. Now I am going to say list of 1 equal to 2004.6. From integer, we are converting that to a float. So 2004 becomes 2004.6. That means we are overwriting it. So in string, we are not able to overwrite it, but in the list, we can overwrite. So that's called mutable. Okay. So that is one good advantage of list. And we can save list within list. As I said, we can store multiple data types in a list. Same way, we have meta 2004 and I'm going to add one more list. I say Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. So I have a list of 3 elements stored as a element in the list. So if I say list, I have 3 elements. If I say length of list, it's not going to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not going to show every element. So you say the whole element. Meta is a string. This is an integer, and the third one is a list. It comes as a whole element. So we say list of 2, right? We say list of 2. It gets the whole list as a element. If I want to get WhatsApp, so from that list I get 0, 1, 2, right? The third value. So I get WhatsApp. If I want to add one more to it, if I want to add one more as a reality labs, so I will just say so list of 2 is the list element, right? Dot append reality labs. So if I append this and I say list, so from WhatsApp, I'll just add one value to it. And in the list, I can add any element to any position. So here I have Meta in 2004. If I want to add something to the first element, I have to move this Meta and 2004 back. So I just say list dot insert. I have to mention which index position I have to insert. So 0, and then I say grow with data. So if I say list, then it will push Meta to index position 1 and 2004 to index position 2 and brings grow with data to index position 0. So you can play around with a list a lot. In our previous videos, for Python interview questions, we have a lot of interview questions related to strings and list. So you can watch those videos and you can learn more about the list. Okay, so we covered the order, and then we covered the mutability and how to append, how to insert. And the next one is how to sort. So if you have this value, see integer or string, whatever it is. If I want to sort this based on ascending order, so I say sorted list. So you just say 78 and say 56 and then 3. So this is in different order, right? If I say sorted, it will just sort based on the ascending. By default, it's ascending order. So you say reverse equal to true. That means it will convert that to a descending order. If there is an interview question saying that get me the smallest of all the elements, that means you just sort this and then get the largest one. That means if you're descending order, the first one will be the largest. So you can just put 0 as the first element. You get 78 as the largest. If you have descending order and you want to get the smallest, then you can simply say -1. So you get the last. So you can just loop around the list. You can do a lot of manipulation. You can do a separate video on every data type, and you can watch even the previous questions also. So list has a lot of information to it. So the next one we are going to talk about is tuple. Tuple is same like list, but it's immutable. So if we say t equal to, so for list we had the solid bracket. For tuple it's a curve bracket. So 1, 2, 3, and 1. So we say t 1, 2, 3, and 1. So it's not index. So if we say t of 0, right? I think you can get it. Yeah. So you can get the indexed position. So it's sort ordered position. So If you read on the index, then you can do it. But the thing is, you can't manipulate it. So it's immutable. So in the list, we say list dot append, right? So you can't have the append. So you say list of 0 dot append, or t dot append, you can say t dot append end, say 10. So if I just try append, it just fails. It just gives you the attribute error because the append is not a function. So we can't do anything with a tuple. So tuple is like immutable, and basically this data type will be used for any values, any variable which is not going to change that often, like the country names or the state of United States. Like, so the name of the state is not going to change that often, or it's not at all going to change. So things which are not going to change, those values can be saved in a tuple, so that the program or the function is not going to change that data type or the variable anywhere in that program. So tuple is used for that purpose. So most of the time we go with lists, we don't go with tuples. But the usage of tuple is like that. If there is any value which is not going to change anywhere in the future, then you can put that in tuple so people can reuse that variable. So the next one is set. Set is again with list and tuple. Set is one more favorite data type. We can play around with sets a lot. So let's start with how you define set. So for list, we have the solid bracket. For tuple, curve bracket. For yes, it's a curly bracket. So you say 1, 2, and 3. When you say yes, so you get the values 1, 2, 3. If you want to see the data type, you say this. So it shows us set, but it's not indexed. So you can't say yes of 0. It will throw you a type error. So it's not indexed one. So you can't play around with the index with set. That's one disadvantage. But you can read the set in a looping part. So you can say for I in yes, print I. So it will just print all the values. And you can add values to it. So yes is 1, 2, 3. Say yes dot list, you say append. Here you say add 4, and you say yes. So you can add to it. But only thing is you can't overwrite it. How you do the string, right? So we can't overwrite the existing value. So it's immutable. So sets are immutable. So I can't say yes of 0 because I told you it's not indexed. So there's no point. You get that index position and overwrite. So that's the main thing. And one more advantage is it stores unique values only. So I have 1, 2, 3, right? So if you say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1. I have 3 ones and other are 2. If I say yes, it will remove all the duplicates. It just store only the distinct values. That's the one of the best advantage of set. So based on that, we can do lot of operations. For example, you say yes1 equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes1 is distinct, right? So there is no duplicates. So it comes like that. We say yes2 equal to, we say 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. Right? So if I say yes2, it will remove all the duplicates. You get 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It removes the duplicates. Now I am going to say yes1 or yes2. So let me put the distinct values so you don't get confused. So S1 is this, S2 is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I have this as a data type, and if I am going to say S1 or S2, then it will get me 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that value should be in S1 or in S2. So 0 is in both, 2 is in both, 3 is in both, 4 is in both, 5 is only in S. Even though it's in only one set, it should be in S1 or S2. So this pipe is R. If I say S1 and S2 and S2, that means it's an intersection. It will find values only, I can put this way. So it will get values only if we exist in both. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are the one which exist in S1 and S2. So it brings all this. So I can just put it here so you can see it. So it's a AND operation. You get this. And this is a OR operation. And let's see what value it is. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we see OR AND. Now we say S1 minus S2. So S1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and subtracting S2, 1, 2, 3, 4 is common. So it subtracts 1, 2, 3, 4. The remaining is 5. So S1 minus S2, we get only 5. If I go other way, S2 minus S1. So now the 1, 2, 3, 4 neutralize the 1, 2, 3, 4 in S2, and 0 is remaining. So you get 0. This is the subtraction. And the last one, S1, S2. This is XOR, right? So it's exists in S1 and not in S2, and S2 not in S1. It should exist in only one. It should not be any common between S1 and S2. That is the XOR. So R, any one of it, XOR is the opposite of it. So you get 0 and 5. So you can have all these operations, and if you say we have two set of values, I want to get the distinct of it, or I want to get only the unique part of it. So all that can be handled easily with the set. Okay. The last one we are going to see is dictionary. This is one of the very strong and very useful data type. So we can do a big video only for dictionaries, which we can do it sooner. So dictionary, again, we are going to use the curly bracket. So in set, we use the curly bracket, but we have only the values. But dictionary, the main part is it will use key value pair. Key colon value. So left side is going to be the key, the right side is going to be the value. Okay, so this is how the dictionary is defined. So how will I write the values? You can say company and colon, I'll say meta. Okay, that is the first key value pair. The second one, started colon 2004. And then I will say the subsidiaries, and I can use our favorite list. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Reality Labs, and whatever they have, right? So if I say D, if you see this, I have the first key value pair, the second key value pair, the third key value pair. So the key here, it's like a string, but you can even have like I can say 1001 or 101, right? So it can be a string or character, integer, whatever it is. Even the float will work, 1.05. So there is no problem with the data type. But the takeaway is the left side is the key, the right side is the value. So I can just say sub to have it, right? So company is the key, meta is the value, started is the key, 2004 is the value, sub is the key, all these companies are, the list is the value. So for the dictionary, I can't go with the index position. I can't go with D of 0 to get the first one because this is not ordered. So list is the only one which is ordered, or tuple. And set is not ordered, so you can't put the set of 0. And dictionary, you can't do it because it's not ordered. But what we can do is, we can try with the keys. Say company, and you can check the bracket. So solid bracket. So D of company means the dictionary of the key value, key is company. If we do that, whatever the key matches, it gets the value, it gets the meta, right? So that is the way you access the dictionary. So I can append the values. For example, for sub, you have 4, right? If I want to add one more, I can say D of sub within quotes, right? SUB. So this will get me the third element, sub, the key is sub. We can't say third because it's not indexed. And then if I want to read any of this element, I can say 0, which will give me the first element of the list. Now, if I want to add one more, dot append, say go with data. So if I say D, so if you see the list, it just got grow with data as one of the elements. So if I say D of 2, D of sub, that value will have Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, reality labs, and grow with data. Okay, so this is how you read a dictionary. So if I want to get all the key from the dictionary, then what will I do? I say D dot keys. So that will give me all the keys. If I want to get all the values, I say D dot values. So that will give me all the values. If I want to get both key and value, I say D dot items. This will give me the key and value. So D dot item is a list, right? It returns as a list. So even for values, all the values will be returned as a list. So if you want to get the first value, now I say 0 will give me dict values not okay. So I have to go with the loop. So I can just say for key val in D dot items, print key and val. D dot items bracket. So if I do that, it will just read every key value pair like into key and value variable, and I'm going to print the key and value. So that's what into the dictionary part. So the main thing is you don't have the ordered property, so we can't use the index, but we can use the keys to get the values. And same way you can sort based on the key, based on the order. We have a lot of interview questions related to the dictionary. You can go to growth data interview or the playlist, and you can see the vote. If you want to see the code, whatever we discussed here, so we have the numerics, Boolean, string, list, tuple, set, and dictionaries. Then you can go to growth data YouTube channel. In the playlist, it's going to be in the Python basics. So Python basics is here. So if you go, I have only one video till now, which is on the operators. So if you go to the description part, you have the GitHub link, which will take you to the code base. So this one is the second video, which is data types, and you can see all the data types we talked about. So the integer, float, the complex, Boolean, strings, and the list. Tuples are there. Where are tuples? Boolean, string, list, tuples here, and then the sets, and then the dictionary. So all the code which we discussed are in this link. If you want to join the WhatsApp channel, there is a link to the WhatsApp channel. You can use this and join Growth Data WhatsApp channel. Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.